Well, thanks everyone for joining. It seems we have some connectivity issues due to thunderstorms. Thankfully, nobody has flooding at this point, so we'll go ahead and get started. But we're very pleased to have those who have experienced InnoVision with us today, as well as those who are thinking of submitting an award application. So I'd like to start with a quick run. I'll just call name for board members, and if you can just give a quick intro, your affiliation, and then we'll get to others on the call. Richard?
Okay, my name is Richard Nelson. I'm a board member, and I retired a few years ago as Director of Information Technology at the Citadel down in Charleston. Prior to that, still with InnoVision, I was Director of Information Technology Services at Furman University. But gosh, how long ago was it that I started with InnoVision, Amy?
I think it was 1999, Richard.
Okay. All right.
There from the beginning. So, Erin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Erin Oots. I am the facilitator for the Upstate Entrepreneur Ecosystem, which is sponsored by 10 of the Top. So I work with organizations that support entrepreneurs to help increase their capacity and ability to help entrepreneurs be more successful faster. I'm also a board member at InnoVision, and this is only my second year. So I'm very pleased with the organization and impressed with all that they do.
Thank you. Blaine?
Hello, I'm Blaine Childress. Recently retired from Sealed Air Corporation as a research fellow there, and then worked part-time with the South Carolina Research Authority and board member of the of the InnoVision and ACS. I've been with InnoVision since 2003.
Cody.
Reynolds, and I've been for 5 years.
Cody, you were going in and out. I'm just going to say that Cody is with Prisma Health and has chaired the board in years past and has, I think, been associated with the board for 5 years, right? Okay. Hunter.
My name is Hunter Freeman. I am an intellectual property attorney with Burr Foreman here in Greenville. So a lot of what I do is I try to work with clients to help them identify and use the rights associated with their branding and innovations to basically keep competitors out of their sandbox so that they can gain and maintain market share. So, and I've been associated with InnoVision officially, I would say, on the board for about 2 years. I've kind of been in and out in terms of volunteering, but this 2 years would probably be my official count.
Yeah, we're going back probably, what, 10?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Karen.
Hi, my name is Karen St. John. You won't see a picture of me. I'm calling in instead. And I am a professor emerita of management, which is a fancy way of saying a retired professor of management. I was affiliated for 10 years with the University of Alabama in Huntsville, 22 years with Clemson University, and I served as an Entrepreneurship Institute director, an associate dean of research and graduate programs, and as dean of a college during those, business college, during those various years. I've been on the board of InnoVision for a little over a year. I'm not sure it's a year and a half yet, but approaching a year and a half.
And I am Amy Robichaux, and I retired in 2018 as the managing director for Deloitte, and then in 2020 came on as chair for the InnoVision board. Again, thanks for everybody's interest and everybody's volunteering to talk about InnoVision. We have a large following. We have about 5,000 in our MailChimp list. So it tells you since 1999, People have become involved and stayed involved in the organization. And the mission is has been quite consistent and is simple. It's to highlight, promote, and foster innovation in South Carolina. And we do so through this annual awards program, a competitive award program where finalists are announced in August and winners in November, and also a forum series. The next forum actually is a week from tomorrow. And those are educational in nature and offer opportunities for networking as well, which is one of the benefits that I'm sure our former finalists will talk about today. So can we I'm just going to go around and call, and you can give a very brief introduction for the others on the call, your experience with, just quickly if you were a finalist or winner, or your interest in InnoVision. So Srikant.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you so much for making us be a part of this. So we were a last year winner for COVID-19 technology development. Blue iSoft has two divisions, one Blue Dock AI and then Blue Space. So Blue Dock AI is what we developed COVID-19 technology out there. This year, formally, we are splitting the company into two, Blue Dock AI and Blue Space. And the same COVID-19 technology received a patent on Friday. So officially, we built a patented technology on COVID-19.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. Bruce is clapping. Bruce, you want to go next?
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity, Amy and Cody and folks. I'm Bruce Johnson with Stomagenics. My career has actually been in cybersecurity and technology, and I tell people my only, preparation for or qualification for this role at Stomagenics was marrying the beautiful lady over in my corner, being the son-in-law of Liney Guidry, who became an ostomate. I'll let Teresa introduce herself, but thrilled to be here. We are a winner in small enterprise in 2019.
Okay. Jackie?
Hi, everyone. Let me make sure I'm not on mute. My name is Jackie McKelvey. I am COO of Blink TBI, which is now doing business as Blink CNS. We were the winner of last year, so the 2020 InnoVision Technology Development Award. And our technology is called iStat. It is a FDA-cleared medical device that measures and assesses the blink reflex to indicate central nervous system diseases and conditions like migraine and traumatic brain injury. So I appreciate being invited today, and it's nice to see you all again.
Teresa?
Hello, everybody. I'm Teresa Johnson, married to Bruce Johnson. My background is in outdoor advertising, administration, and when Bruce and I got married, I retired, and then we started this wonderful business surrounding the medical device to help out with the ostomates, those that have an ostomy. And here's our award, 2019 Small Business. And thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here.
And thanks for the prop. We didn't even think about the prop, Teresa.
It's called
Yay.
Advertising, outdoor advertising.
Well, we should have known you would have that, yes. And I recall, Sri, you had the InnoVision microphone on, I think it was your TV interview, which was another great prop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that was good. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm with United Way of the Piedmont. We were finalists for and won the COVID-19 Community Service Award this past year.
Mm-hmm. Nicole.
Hi, I'm with United Way of the Piedmont as well. And yeah, we won an award last year for COVID-19 response with community service.
Chelsea.
Afternoon, everyone. Apologies for my webcam not working. I've been hopping between Zoom and Teams all day, and about an hour ago, I just decided to totally stop. So I'm Chelsea X. Lebeski. I work at the Medical University of South Carolina with their technology transfer office. As a part of my role, I work with all of our MESC affiliated startup companies to help them find funding, and then also just interested in learning more about InnoVision and kind of the different categories so that I really can honestly relay that information to some of our startups that I believe may be eligible or a good fit. I also, in a former life, had a startup myself and was a finalist. Oh my God, it was probably 7 or 8 years ago. So I'm familiar with the program, but it's definitely been a while, and I'm excited to be re-engaged.
Okay, great. Have I missed anyone? Okay. Oh, Tony. You're up.
Oh, I'm up. Okay, Tony Sorrells. We're probably one of the oldest of the participants. We were part of the founding as the Singer, I guess, Ryobi company, and then we became TTI, Tektronix Industries Power Equipment. We've had advisory board positions, and we've also entered almost every year. So we've had, I know at least since 2007, we've had 9 finalists and 3 winners, and then we were awarded a Hall of Fame award in 2017 for, I think that was for participation. We actively submitted things on each year, and so we're kind of local here in Anderson now, and it's just been a good outlet for us. But my name is Tony Sorrells. I failed to introduce myself, I think.
Okay. Blaine, do you want to talk about the categories? There were questions about categories. Did we lose Blaine? Okay, well, we'll go to Hunter then.
My audio
Hunter,
any
do
better?
you want to talk? Yes.
Okay,
I think
maybe
your
I'll just
audio
jump.
is. Do you want to take the categories? Okay.
Sure, let's give it a go. Let me just stop me if I start to break up. So we have 6 categories that are competitive, highly competitive. We have technology development. It's fairly obvious. The new technology that you're bringing. Technology integration. Get those confused. Technology integration is really using an existing technology, like any advancements on text messages. That's how it's great of that tech novel, they create a new product.
Yeah. We're getting an audio in and out.
Okay.
All right, I'll pick it up from there. So technology integration is an award that recognizes innovative applications of existing technologies, and it focuses on how those technologies are applied to create new value. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a new technology, it just has to be a new innovation and a new application. So then we move on to innovation in education. And this award recognizes innovative applications of technology in ways that improve education within South Carolina. Community service is an award that recognizes technological innovations that improve the quality of life in South Carolina communities. Sustainability. This award recognizes technological innovations in environmental stewardship and on innovative development or application of technology to promote the protection of the Earth's natural resources. And then the last category is small enterprise. And this award recognizes small businesses, which is defined by having less than 50 full-time employees or less than 20 million in annual revenue. for creative technology developments or innovative technology applications. So really you can fall either in the technology development or the technology integration, but you kind of get to be, if you're also a small business, you get to be in the small enterprise, which maybe takes you out of the pool of going up against the big boys. So it is another a category for small businesses. And I think that that's a fair summary of the categories, but to the extent that I left something out, I'm sure Amy will add to it.
Well, someone, I think it was Chelsea, maybe had a question on the categories. Chelsea, are there specific questions that you would like to ask in that regard?
Yeah, I think Hunter kind of addressed one of them. I mean, so the companies I work with, I mean, the medical university, we're an academic medical center. And so a lot of our startups are really early stage. We have a handful. I'm actually working with a startup company now that's kind of in early stages of developing a medical device, and the device is not on the market. It's not FDA cleared, but we have run some small in-house clinical trials. We just received a substantial phase 1 STTR grant to develop it. So just kind of curious on maybe some of the really early stage startups, where they would be a better fit to apply if they're pre-revenue and they're not even necessarily on the market, or do you ever have companies win at all? And if so, would it be technology development or small enterprise?
I will take that one unless Blaine is on.
Probably be small business or tech development, depending on whether or not your technology is an integration of devices already made before. Yeah, those would all work. The small business is oftentimes very early stage, the kind of thing that InnoVision recognizes and others notice. The thing that you need to emphasize there, of course, is the challenges that you faced in getting into that place.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
And I would emphasize also that if you put it into a category and it's reviewed by the judges, or there's a question, or somebody says, well, this is really technology development, it just gets moved there. So it's, yes, you put it where you think it belongs. And if there is a thought that, wait, this really places very well within another category, it can be moved by the judges themselves.
Okay.
But I think the advantage of going small enterprise is that you will be going against like-sized candidates. And so you will not be competing against like a Michelin or a Milliken or TTI, because clearly they don't qualify as a small enterprise. So that's the big advantage of going small enterprise. You could still qualify under a tech integration or a tech development. It's just your size then puts you in a different category so that your peers are more closely related to you in size and revenue.
That makes sense. Thank you.
I'd just like to point out that there are comments in the chat. So if you don't have your chat window open, it would be a good idea to do that. There's a link in there and other explanations of things going on. So be sure to keep your chat window open.
Okay, Hunter, do you want to just continue then on benefits or ask questions of those who have won about the experience?
Sure. So, well, I guess the best thing to do would be to ask some of the participants. Sri, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like for your company and what benefits you saw as out of the process?
The first key was we became a part of the network. even at least on this meeting, I was trying to connect with Chelsea from MUSC, but just attending this meeting alone brought us. So being a part of InnoVision Awards ceremony, we were able to connect with local innovators and SC leaders. That was the biggest thing. We got some great mentors. At the times of need, I was able to get on a call with Karen and say, hey, can you help me with XYZ? So it was beyond the awards piece. So that was great. And we did even, for us to create a video and spend it, it would easily cost $2,000 or $2,500. And we got a nice quality video, which we could use at multiple places. That itself was a perk. And then the quality of awards we got, the places we got this circulated really helped us. And most probably I could say that submitting our application was a really good thing that we did. Even going through those questions, that way you can know that, oh, did I get there? The questions were framed so well. I mean, that's a beautiful piece, which can help you self-realize.
Thanks. So Sri hit on a couple of points that I think are worth expanding on, especially for those of you who are not familiar with the process. So the video that Sri was talking about is a promotional video that InnoVision arranges for and pays for, and it's for all the finalists and obviously the winner. And it allows you to showcase not only your company, but the actual innovation that is being recognized during the award. And it's a very professional end product, and it's something that you can be very proud of. There is another aspect of what Sri was talking about is that you will not only meet everyone hopefully meet everyone within the InnoVision network, but you will have opportunities to make presentations. So each finalist will be introduced and they'll have a chance to speak at a particular Meet the Finalist event that we have. And then finalists and especially winners are likely to be asked at future InnoVision Forum events like the one that we have coming up later this month. And then obviously all finalists will have an opportunity to attend the award ceremony, and especially when we go back to having them live, that can be a very good opportunity. In fact, back when my firm was called McNair, we had a client who we invited to InnoVision, and in fact, he just because he was kind of looking for an investment. He was a very wealthy person, and he just wanted to invest in a company. And he actually asked for an introduction to the winner, and ended up buying the company, and right there, all because he was at the ceremony. And so there's a lot of opportunities to meet people. And then obviously we will have a press release that announces all the winners that will be sent to state and local media outlets. And we will have arranged some media coverage in the South Carolina Business Review as well as some other regional journals. So in terms of visibility, there are several ways that you can get your name out there by participating. But Tony, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you, because as you mentioned earlier, TTI is a repeat participant. And so what keeps you coming back?
Well, I'm trying to get the younger people engaged. We are in a consumer product line. We do power tools. We're a partner with Home Depot. It's just the competition of it, enthusiasm, excitement, trying to get the attention. We do benefit from the networking and just knowing who to talk to or who to ask, especially about things here in the state, the local things. We are a global company, so that makes it a little different. But when we're doing local things, we've made many contacts through this group and the network. So.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I mean, who doesn't like the bragging rights, especially if you get to be the winner, right?
Yeah, and the recognition. That's for especially the young people. There's a lot of programs in industrial design and things like that, but in engineering and development, I've tried to use that to pull it out of. We've got battery charger systems that are being designed, and in all of the consumer power tools that we work on. So trying to get those young people recognition. We're all competing for the same people now, and attracting and retaining this talent is a big deal, and just give those young guys and gals something to work for.
So do you find that that the award or the recognition is a way, especially in a big company like yours, to kind of provide some additional motivation and or company pride for some of your engineers?
Oh, absolutely. They end up on the trophy shelf. They keep it at their desk. It gets communicated in everything we do. Yeah, I've always tried to get it included, and when you're in your credentials, things like that, especially if you were on that team that of the product that won the award. It is a little difficult a lot of times in consumer products when you're competing with life-saving devices and things, but it's still a lot of fun to try to put together the story that goes with your innovation.
Hey,
I'll say this, Tony, that even though you're competing with those life-saving events, there are very few people who leave InnoVision without thinking, gosh, I wish I had one of those. Wonder if I can get that new writing more, or
Right.
God, why aren't we raffling one off tonight?
That's right.
Yeah, yours might not be life-saving, but it's equally as important because it's weekend saving.
That's right.
Cuts the job time down into a third.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can I ask a question just while before it leaves my mind? Bruce, we had some comment about patent and when to apply, and I'm trying to remember if you guys had a patent at the time that you had applied, or I don't think you had to go through FDA approval, but I can't recall that either.
Amy, when we applied for the InnoVision Award, we had won our first patent. We ended up with two more patents on that technology or that solution. One of them was at the final stages of, it wasn't quite issued yet, but it was through the prosecution. And the other one was mid-prosecution. And we ended up getting that one later in the year. But yeah, it was, I think that is certainly something that people need to take into account. But there's also, I think, an opportunity to present your technology in a way that talks about the solution and a lot about the problem and the approach that doesn't have to necessarily uncover a lot of things that would jeopardize a patent, but certainly that should be something that people should take into consideration.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'll turn it back over.
I think that, I've covered the main benefits. There's certainly, if anyone else who has gone through the process has something unique to them that they enjoyed, then please feel free to share.
I will step up to actually kind of carry on to what Amy just was talking about with the patent. Our product is one of those kind of halfway between convenience and life-saving. But the challenge we have, Tony, is that our customer base is and has been, kind of unknown. It's a very private patient base. And so this InnoVision process gave us a chance to tell our story and really promote the need for this type of solution, not just ours, but other people trying to address the needs of ostomates and people who've had ostomy surgery. And as we talk to people every day, it's a challenge for people to understand the need for investing in this space. Certainly when we're talking to our customers, they understand the need to solve the problems we're talking about. But just the opportunity for Teresa and I and Reed to be able to address our customers' needs on a platform that allowed us to not only kind of explain to people why this was necessary, but also to potential partners, people that we could, like-minded folks who could kind of work with us to help us solve those problems. And that kind of goes back to what I think was brought up early on is the connectedness of the community and the ability to kind of network. So, but the idea that we could go and talk about ostomy, problems, people who have ostomy care problems on a platform like InnoVision provided us was a big thing for us.
And I can follow up to that as well. I think that for us personally, one of the biggest gains and the benefits that we had from being a finalist and then also winning was that we had some airtime on the South Carolina Business Review radio show, and that aired on, I believe it was 8 local radio stations, and I personally received well over a dozen text messages from friends or family members who actually tuned in, or they just were driving in their car and listened to it. So that was one of the best benefits of winning. So we really appreciated that.
Yeah, Jackie, I second you on that. Yeah, that was a great experience to be interviewed by the SC radio team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Abby and Nicole, I welcome some comments relative to the community service category, and we don't have anybody for education, but I think some of the questions that people have in those two categories is very interesting sometimes. So like to hear your perspective on G. Were you reluctant to apply, thinking that it wasn't technologically, that there was no big technological innovation, and what your experience was in the community service category?
So as far as I understand, we didn't actually apply. We were nominated for the award last year. So I'm not sure how to answer your question, I guess. Sorry,
yes, you were actually nominated.
Sorry, what?
Okay. Nicole, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wish Heather Witt could be here. She's currently like on PTO, but she was the one who really was first and forefront with everything that we did with InnoVision last year. But
yeah. Erin, do you want to talk a bit? I know you're from Spartanburg, and there were a couple of programs in community service that you surfaced and nominated.
Yes, one of them was Start Me over at, which is the minority business kind of accelerator for the north side of Spartanburg, and another had to do with, was that the Cherokee County one?
Yes.
Yes.
The ambassador.
Oh, and then the library in Union County. So those were ones that we nominated, and it was beneficial to them because it again got the word out about their programming. Generally when you're working in those types of programs, it's head down, and we're just trying to keep up with what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and don't have a lot of time to raise the banner and let folks know what we are doing. And this gave them an opportunity to not only speak at the finalist forums, but then to hold an award when they won.
The other thing, Erin, that I thought about when Bruce was talking was just the network, and you're certainly plugged into a huge network of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and being able just to connect people, I think, is a big part of InnoVision.
InnoVision does that. Well, excuse me, Amy. Yes, an ecosystem is all about how we're all connected to each other so that we can transfer knowledge from those who have it to those who need it. And all of you who are in startups or growing a business, you know that it's knowledge. Who do I know? What do we need to do? And how do we get there? And that ecosystem should provide the net to do that. I have seen, just in the little bit of time that I have been at InnoVision, that answers provided to entrepreneurs or finalists who've said, I'm really trying to find something. And through Kent, I think that you have done a very good job by saying, yes, I know you need to talk to so-and-so. And that's another great thing with the finalists coming from so many different areas. You then get connected into networks that you would not necessarily have been connected to. And quite often, or sometimes, that network has exactly the right person or exactly the right piece of knowledge to get you moving forward to the next step.
Yes, sir. And that was the whole purpose, even here, of getting time off Cody or being connected and all of this. This is the group of people where you can really come and accomplish something out there. Yeah.
Yes. And it's been interesting to see how many of you have had additional awards or publicity since last fall. I know I've seen things about Blinked and as well as Blue Eye Soft. So, and Stomagenics, did you have something last week in the paper or 2 weeks ago?
We were profiled in the Upstate Business Journal.
Yes. So, hopefully it's just it just continues from here. That was an excellent profile, Teresa.
Thank you. And I'll speak to what you just shared. For me, as head of operations, I'm always head down. I'm focusing on the 50 tasks in front of me, pushing that ball in all of these different directions and working inside of a bubble. We're trying to make things happen, make things move, meet people. And when we applied for this award, it was one of many things. I was really excited about it. Cody was an incredible person to help us through this process and bring it to our attention. And then, we're always like sliding into home, I say. And so when that night came for the award ceremony, we're just like sliding into home or getting there, and then they call our name. And I still get goosebumps to this day, because truly, for me, it was a mark of being valid. Everything you're doing, everything that we sacrifice, everything that we work for, so hard for, that was a moment of validation that I will forever be grateful for, because you can look back and I can hold this award. I keep it right behind me on this desk so that, whenever I'm on a Zoom call, it can be seen. But I can look at it and say, yes, this is right. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep doing, just that validation was huge. And as for us to be living in South Carolina, which is such a rich environment of resources, whether it's education, networking, meeting people in certain spaces, different organizations, it is so rich in all of these things. I just consider us very, very, very fortunate to have such a wonderful environment to work from and pull information from. And, we're very excited to be a part of this InnoVision program and always ready to help in any possible way we can.
Well, that's great to hear. And I have to say that one thing that has been instituted this past year was thought of and is run by Karen St. John, that is really developed into a great way to keep the news going among the InnoVision community members. Karen posts daily. Once in a while, she takes a vacation week, but not very often, but posts daily on our LinkedIn page, and is very good at getting news, not only in South Carolina, but beyond. And we are getting coverage beyond South Carolina. So we hope that that your stories are also getting out there beyond South Carolina and developing that branding that we so need for the state as an innovative state. So Karen, do you want to talk about how you view that and also your newsletter that goes out? Karen, do you still have connectivity? Are you on mute?
Looks like she's muted.
Okay. Yeah, but it looked like it was going on and off.
Okay.
But I will say that if you haven't gone to the LinkedIn, go ahead, Karen.
Okay, I didn't realize I have to undo 2 separate mute buttons. I apologize. Yes, we post once a day to LinkedIn and once a day to Facebook, and we've been doing that for almost a year. And our strategy with the LinkedIn and Facebook posts every day, and I did take 1 week of vacation one time, but if I have a phone connection, I will post. And we try to post at least one of the former winners, about one of the former winners or finalists each week. That's part of our overall strategy. So I believe all of you have, we have had a posting about you in the last year. And we also post other news around the state that we read about that is tied to innovation, and we tag organizations all in an attempt to grow our membership. Starting a few months ago, we decided to take all of our weekly LinkedIn posts and aggregate them into a newsletter. And that newsletter is sent out by Richard, usually Friday night or Saturday morning, to our entire MailChimp database. So there are a lot of people that for whatever reason aren't checking social media, and that's fine, but if they are affiliated with us at all, then they are seeing those same posts come through in the form of a newsletter over the weekend. So we're really trying to do all that we can to get all of this word out about past winners and current programs and activities.
Karen, I just also want to say thank you for that. Not only just these newsletters, when we were stuck with some problem or needed a little bit of help, Karen actually stepped out and tried to make some connections and did a little bit of background work out there. So I honestly did not expect this much impact when we submitted the application, but having mentors and supporters like you was always great. Thanks for that half an hour time you gave, Karen.
Sure. Absolutely, absolutely.
I think one of the other things that we are, and everybody's probably going to cringe as far as board members, but one of the things, another thing that we have been thinking of, don't know when we'll launch it, but is really to try to promote more of an interconnectivity of the former finalists and winners. And that may be something as simple as having a private LinkedIn page where those former finalists and winners can communicate and ask questions or connect with one another, knowing of the credentials of the status of the InnoVision community member. So any thoughts? I would welcome your comments or any thoughts regarding even such things as the questions. Srikanth, we had never even thought about the questions except when we formed them in 1999. But if there is a question missing that makes sense, or if you have suggestions, or if you have another story of an informal connection that could perhaps be formalized, or something that you would be willing to work on to develop that InnoVision community, just send that forward to us. We are looking for continuous improvement, and our real focus is always on the finalist and winners experience and the sponsors experience. Those are what we see as our customers, if you will, or our audience and those that we serve. So any suggestions there, send them our way. And as I'm mentioning sponsors, I should thank our sponsors that have signed up early for 2021. SCRA is sponsoring the Meet the Finalist series, where we have a series of 4 webcasts featuring the finalists in 2 categories. And there's a bit of networking as well as telling the story personally. And then Contech, who has been a winner several times and a sponsor for decades, is sponsoring the event this year, the awards event. And they've also been a sponsor for decades. And of course, Tektronix Industries Power Equipment. Tony, I got it right. It's always a tongue twister for me. Another sponsor and very active participant for decades. is again the sponsor for 2021, as is Velux America, Upstate South Carolina Alliance, and Dart Points, which is the new name for Medion. It was acquired by Dart Points earlier this year. So a couple of asks since we have you here. One, we are still open for applications for this year through June 30. So you can nominate by sending us an email, or you can apply again if you've got something new that you would like to be considered for a 2021 award. And then also sponsors. If you know of sponsors or would like to sponsor, we have sponsorship levels from the top level of events down to the gift bag sponsor, which is at a $500 level. So any and all referrals or even a tee up for us to make contact and suggestions for us to pursue are greatly appreciated, because we want to keep improving and continuing to forward the mission.
Abby has a few words she'd like to say as well. She typed them in the comments, and I thought it would be good to have them on the video.
Yes, that was what I was going to say too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, I mean, as Nicole mentioned, we were nominated, so we weren't completely, with the Piedmont, wasn't completely sure what to expect, but I'm in marketing with them, and it was really great to be able, like, just through the press and everything, to drive awareness to our COVID relief work and other direct service programs, and even raise funds that way for it. But it also prompted us to think more deeply and sort of evaluate all our direct service processes and how we've innovated those, especially in recent years, which is why we're applying this year. So got us thinking about what we do and how we continue to innovate. So yeah, thank you.
Great.
Really quickly, if I don't go in and out too much, I just wanted to mention that InnoVision started out in the upstate and was mainly upstate focused, not exclusive, but for many years. But in the last couple of years, we've made an effort statewide and serve the whole state. So we have been getting more from Charleston, all over the state. But in order to have also sponsors from, so just to on to what Amy was saying earlier, if you have any suggestions of company, the rest of the state that you.
And on our list, we will be hopefully being able to mine some of this for clips, kind of testimonials, but we may want to reach out and get just one specific comment from you, if you'd be willing to do that, as we look to improvements to our website and other communications. We'll be reaching out, so let us know. And June 22nd, next Tuesday, we do have the June Forum. It's on collaboration. And Hunter, since you're one of the speakers, would you like to just give a brief overview of that topic and what we're covering?
Sure. So we will be going over the third part of our collaboration series and talking about making your collaboration work. We will briefly share some thoughts but focus more on experiential considerations of what's gone right, what's gone wrong, things you need to consider, and just basically once you've determined that one, collaboration is right for you, which was our first part of the series, and two, you have supposedly used the resources that were available to you to find a strategic partner, which was part two. You've now decided, okay, we are going to collaborate. Now what? We kind of walk you through some of the tips and pitfalls and how to navigate that and how to make your collaboration work.
Of course, you can find the link and registration on the website. Okay, 5 minutes early, we've wrapped. Thank you very much for your comments and devoting some time for InnoVision today. And thanks again for applying in the first place.
Thank you for the work you're doing. This is a great program and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Hi, all. Thank you.
Bye.